What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. Boozer here, thanks for stopping by. Today's video we're going to go over the hero's path for the Freyja's 5-star soul, and we're going to break down exactly what we need to do and how much we need to spend to get her 5-star soul. So it's currently active in game right now. It's called the Path of the Fate Weaver, and it's going to be summoning and training. So summoning will be strictly from shards this time. It was made clear in some of my comments that when it says summon, it's going to be from shards only. I thought maybe there was a chance it could be like a chase just because there was a summon rush last week, but the chase is usually described as get instead of summon, which totally makes sense. So thank you so much for clarifying me on that. But yeah, I think it was a little hopeful, wishful thinking on my part. So here are the point breakdowns for the training portion and the shard portion. 4,500 for the sacred shard is what you want to see generally, because otherwise it would be, you don't want this to be lower. That means player is going to do something funky with them. In terms of all the other values, they look pretty standard, to be honest. We just recently had a training event for the Freyja guarantee, which was much different values. But of course, this is a path event versus a deck event, so you can't really compare. But I'll show you guys some comparisons and what we can do to get Freyja soul and or other goodies if you guys are interested. But first, this video is sponsored by Marvel Strike Force. Marvel Strike Force is a dynamic, free mobile, squad-based RPG game that brings the Marvel universe to life, where players assemble powerful teams, heroes, and villains to battle iconic enemies in epic battles with endless team combinations and strategic gameplay. Use the link in the description below or scan my QR code to get free characters such as Agatha Harkness this month. You'll recruit both heroes and villains across the multiverse, including Iron Man, Wolverine, Venom, and much more. From there, power up your characters to take on game modes like campaigns, arenas, and blitz. If you're a brand new player, you can unlock up to 17 total characters within the first 30 days, including Spider-Man, Deadpool, Thor, Captain America, and more favorites. New ways to battle with your roster are regularly released, and the meta is constantly evolving. Along with campaigns, Blitz, Arena, and also Alliance War, a massive weekly Alliance battle, raids, and Cosmic Crucible, where you go head-to-head against other players in a tournament. Oh, that reminds me, did I mention there is a free character giveaway in October? Be on the lookout for a highly anticipated Agatha in celebration of the D+ show Agatha All Along. Get her for free from the login calendar. You can also unlock other characters and costumes from Marvel movies, TV shows, comics, and more. This month we have highly anticipated character Blade and his team of Night Stalkers ready to recruit. But there is even more. To celebrate the spooky season, players can redeem the promo code Halloween to get their free 100 shards of Zombie Iron Man, 600k gold, 480 L2 training modules. So don't forget to use the link or scan my QR code to download the game. Now back to the video, guys. Alright guys, so I did do the breakdown for you guys here of what we are looking to get in terms of the paths. So I think the big thing here is the soul. The soul is going to be the big thing that most people will want to get. It's a pretty expensive soul. If you come down here all the way, I chose the red path. Each points for each item on each layer is the same, except for the last layer, which is the big rock versus the mythical book. But whatever you choose on each layer of the path, it's going to be pretty much the same. I think, so it's up to you what you find most valuable. So for me, I went down these charms. I went down for the coins versus the core hammers, since core hammers are pretty not that useful nowadays. I went for the oils. I went for the medium essence here just because it's a little bit more of a safer bet. You could go for the soul stone if you want to gamble it up. The gems are worth more energy than 300 energy, so it's just easy math there. So take the gems. Also a bit more flexible. I took the coins instead of the 6-star glyph. That's kind of up to you guys, what you guys value there. But all 4 of these items are the same point value. You go down to the key. You have to pick up 3 keys here for Freyja's big soul. So you're going to go down to the key, get 1 key. And then I went for the big essence here versus the 6-star soul. Sorry, this is a 5-star soul. So I passed the 5-star soul for the coins here. And then I went for the coins again instead of the 6-star soul. I find the coins a little bit more harder to get than the 6-star soul, maybe more important, but it's personal preference. I went for the medium stone. Keep in mind we do have a soul chase right now, so you can definitely cash in with some extra stones here. And then go for the book and then pick up the double keys here at the end bottom corner. And then at this point, you have 3 keys to open up the Freyja for 50,000 points. So total points, 84,050, equal to 18.7 sacred shards. So overall, actually, this soul is actually like, it seems expensive, but in the grand scheme of things, it's actually very comparable to what we've had in previous shard related heroes paths for 5-star souls. The direct comparison is actually Wixwell's 5-star soul, which had the exact same parameters. So pulling shards, training, exact same. All right. So in terms of overall cost, it's on par or even slightly less, because some of the other ones, for example, I think Skorig's soul was, I believe, 20 sacred shards. So 18.7, just under 19, is not excessive or inflated relative to other ones that happened this year. And then we have like consolation prizes where you can go, for example, the frame. The frame would be 21,050. I marked it with the turquoise color here. So basically go down here to either the Mortal Soulstone or the essences, and then you will split, get the energy and the gems, pick up and go down and pick up both keys. Once you have the both keys, you're going to pick up the charms here, open up the keys, and then pick up the frame. So 21,050, which gives you about just under 5 sacred shards, which is actually not a bad prize if you care about the frames. Personally, I don't really care about them. The frames have kind of like, I don't really notice them anymore. I don't know how, I guess this one is kind of like a fancier frame, but it's not going to be super hard to get since it's only going to be like 5 sacred. So you might see a lot of these frames pop up, which kind of like defeats the purpose of having something kind of unique, because it won't be unique. But yeah, so that's the frame. After that, you have the book path, which I marked in the purple check marks. So basically you go down the purple check marks. You're going to lose 1,000 points here for the key. And then you're going to pay an extra 10,000 for the book down there. And then if you want the mythical book, you just add another 20,000. So actually I did break down all of this on a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet I was using from HH Gaming, so from SAF. I just modified it a little bit, but it's basically the same as the 5-star Wixwell Heroes Path. Wixwell's 5-star soul actually costs 87,000 points, as opposed to the 5-star Freyja, which is 84,000 points. So a small discount there. So this is what we're looking at here. You can kind of just input your values here. So for example, you put 20 sacred shards, and then you're all done, right? You got 90,000 here, you're all done. So in terms of training, you can definitely do this with training instead of shards, but this is kind of what you're looking at in terms of the energy cost. So if you wanted to strictly do the 5-star Freyja, it's going to cost you about 18,000 energy. This is basically just building up 2 stars up to 5 stars with some consideration towards partially leveling them up. So about 17,000, give or take, running 12-3 brutal. And then these are the energy breakdowns for the other parts of the other rewards, the other paths that we laid out. In terms of, how much it costs for each of these paths, point breakdowns are here. And then we can basically offset with whatever we have. Let's say you have like, I don't know, 5 sacreds, and you're going to do 10 voids. So you got 30,000 points. You're still looking at about 54,000 points required for the 5-star Freyja. So yeah, it just kind of helps you visualize what you actually need. So like if you have 10 sacred shards, 45,000, you need about 40,000 coins, runic charms or whatever. And let's say you have like 10 more, it's only 3,000 points. But yeah, it just gives you a good rough estimation. There's also another way to complete the path is by actually paying money and buying packs. You can buy coins in the shop right now. It is 3,250 points. My packs are free to play packs, so for $5 you get 3,250. But you can only buy up to 30,000 coins, so you still need to complete some of these with other resources. So it looks like for 30,000 coins you pay about $40. So the soul is, for 30k out of 84k, you're paying about $40. So I think Plarium's rough value, if you could buy all the coins with packs, is about $100 for the soul, roughly. I think if, in that regards, it doesn't seem too outrageous, because the soul is, you know, it's all, they're valuing it at, you know, 19 sacred shards. But if you want to complete this like kind of cost effectively, maybe coins make sense, like paying for coins. Of course, I don't advocate like buying stuff in this game, but that might be a way to get it like more cost effectively. But yeah, so these are the energy breakdowns and all that stuff. So you guys can take a quick look here. I can provide a link to this. It's very rough, but it's the identical math breakdown for the Wixwell path. So you can definitely use that as reference as well. But yeah, basically the key takeaways here is if you want the 5-star soul, it's going to cost you 19 sacred shards. If you want to do it with pure training, it's going to cost you, you know, about 18,000 energy, which is going to cost you 5,500 gems. So 5,500 gems worth of energy to fully do the soul, or 19 sacred shards, or a mix of everything. You know, it's in line with what we expect. It's nothing too crazy. Now, is the soul worth it for Freyja? I mean, she's a great champion. You can definitely use her in a lot of areas. In terms of getting the 5-star soul, like obviously having the 5-star soul will help her for things like, you know, if you wanted to give her polymorph, for example, in arena, a 5-star soul would definitely be helpful. If you wanted to give her brimstone or boss encounters, that'll definitely help as well. She doesn't really need accuracy in her kit. Like her A1 gives you a provoke. It's only a 40% chance on a single hit, so it's not particularly good. People have been saying like use her for the provoker and Hydra. I don't think she's a reliable Hydra provoker. 40% A1 with the counterattack, it doesn't trigger enough. Her shields are so big they don't get broken very often, so she's not going to counterattack that often. If you pair her up with like ally attacks, for example, or give her like revenge accessories, maybe you can get more out of her A1. But her A1 is the only part of her kit that requires accuracy, which is the 5-star, you know, blessing benefit. So she doesn't really need that. Giving her resistance might be useful because she's a cleanser, right? So being able to resist debuffs, not being able to be controlled, you know, it helps her, you know, fulfill her function. Is it the way you build her out? You know, high resistance? I don't think so. You probably just give her stone skin if you want to use her for the arena. Is the soul really worth it for her? I think for areas like Centranos, if you are lacking high blessing champions to finish some of the stages, if Freyja is part of that stage, she's going to be a huge carry, right? Increased defense, big shields, a big survivability, cleansing, turn meter boost, and then AoE provoke. Not to mention this survivability passive. She's going to be a huge help in those kind of areas. But obviously not everyone's going to have like a large amount of sacred saved up for this one instance to use on this 5-star champion or 5-star soul. It's a shame that they didn't put like split souls along the way, but Plarium kind of knows what they're doing in terms of how they want to market this. But personally, I think if you're pulling sacred shards, you might have to view the 5-star soul as maybe like a secondary prize, because there is currently ongoing ancient guarantee right now for Esenia. But if you wanted to use sacred shards for this path, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow. There's a 2x sacred shard event. So that means it's going to be boosted rates for sacred shards. It's going to be 12%. You probably have to wait until tomorrow to pull your sacred shards. And then, you know, if you have 20 to pull, it's not an awful opportunity to pick up a soul kind of on the way. So I feel like the events are, you know, they kind of work together. But not everyone's going to have like, you know, a bunch of souls saved up or whatever, right? Like I have almost 60 60 sacreds. Personally, I'm going to probably pull for Freyja, because having 60 here is not really getting any value from them, and having a 2x chance at getting the you know, legendaries from the sacred shards, it's decent value. And then I'll get the 5-star soul at the end, which of course is going to help me out if I wanted to use Freyja. Also, you'll probably, you know, pick up some goodies along the way, right? Not too much though, just the legendary book and a medium stone. I'm going to be pulling the sacred shards for her, but I think most people will probably pass. I don't think she necessarily needs the 5-star soul to be super effective. It's definitely a huge luxury, But it's kind of nice that they did pair this up with a 2x Sacred Shard event tomorrow. Keep in mind that if you guys are pulling Sacred Shards, like I said, wait until this guarantee event ends in 20 hours and 23 minutes. Then you're going to get the 2x boost. It looks like the time gap will give you enough time to pull the Sacred Shards and still cash in the 5-star Freyja for this event. It looks like it gives you 1 hour. So it's going to give you 1 hour to pull the Sacred Shards, and then you can, basically pull the 5-star soul for Freyja and then cash that soul in for the chase. That's kind of like a little bit of extra value there if it allows that. I'm not 100% sure whether the Insenia guarantee will end and then immediately following will be the 2x Sacred. So we don't know that exactly, but if it does, it gives you a 1 hour opportunity to cash in the 5-star Freyja for the soul chase, just to get some extra points if you guys want that. Keep in mind that there's also a medium stone along the way, so you can definitely pull that and try to get more value from the soul chase that way. But yeah, that's that's about it. I don't think a lot of people are gonna go for this. It's a bit it's a big investment, right? I wouldn't say it's overly expensive, because relative to what it previous events similar to this, it's about the same, but it's a big investment. But honestly, souls for a good champion are very hard to find. Are very time consuming, very high resources, and to get it basically here like instantly, just pulling shards, it's not too bad. The training portion of it is 5,500 gems if you want to complete it fully with training with gems, which is again in line. So it's nothing like crazy. Like Fatalis costs like, I forgot, like 10,000 gems or something ridiculous. So this one in comparison is way less. But I don't have that much training material, and I don't have the wanting or feelings to do training, so I'm probably gonna skip most of that and just pull Sacred Shards. And also 2x chance, I'll take my chances. Maybe pick up some legendaries, fill up my faction guardian and all that stuff. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys learned something. Let me know in the comments below what you guys are planning to do. And yeah, expect some shard pulling videos this weekend from this channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you guys enjoy the content. And I'll see you guys in the next video.